Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, June 16th, 2020, and we are again in the final hour of the trading day. My favorite time for me to trade is the last hour of the day, particularly in the last few minutes. And I say this because at the end of the day, in the last few minutes, last hour, but mainly the last few minutes, the large financial institutions come in. They have very smart people. They have the best technology, they have good information, and most importantly, they're dealing with the most money. And at the end of the day, they start doing their buying and selling, and that takes the price control away from the day traders and the algorithms who control it during the middle part of the day. And so I consider it smart money. I like to piggyback on what they're doing. And that is why I trade at the end of the day primarily. I did place a few day trades today. I will be going over those with you as well and showing you the outcomes of those and why I got in them. But anyway, thank you so much for coming by today. Appreciate it. Dan is here. Hi. Hello, Greg and everyone. Looking forward to another great show. Oh, thank you, Dan. Very kind of you, sir. Appreciate that. Hey, Quad, how you doing, bud? Good afternoon, Greg and all. Good afternoon, Quad. Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Zach is here. Hey, Zach. Good to see you, my friend. All right. Well, another wild and crazy day. You know, I was just thinking about this a few minutes ago. This is so insane with the gap ups and the gap downs and the gap back up and the moves all around. You know, back in when I started trading, you know, you'd have a 100-point day on the Dow, 150-point day. People talk. Did you hear the Dow? It's up 150 points or down 150 points. Oh my gosh, that's a ton. Now that's like between 930 and 935. It's insane. It's insane. Currently, the Dow is up 567 points, up 2.2%. Was up near 1,000 this morning. Then it sold off dramatically. I think we were only up 100 points or 300 points. But anyway, currently we're up 570, up 2.22%. NASDAQ is up 169 points, up 1.74%. And the S&P is up 62 points, up 2.03%. So looks like let's see. Yeah, it looks like the IWM is the clear winner for today. So anyway, crazy times, literally just crazy times. Bob is here. Hey, Bob. Good to see you. Evan is here. Hey, Evan. Kamal is here. Good chatting with you earlier. I look forward to speaking with you tonight, Kamal. So, all right. Well, where should we start? All right, let's do this. So first of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at all my current positions and day trades, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me. We're going to go over those, take a look and see how those are doing. After that, we're going to spend about midpoint of the podcast, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, trader philosophy, good trading words of wisdom, things outside of charts that I think will help, that hopefully will help your trading if we talk about. After that, we're going to go down through my watch list. We're going to go down through each stock, and I have 3 requirements before I enter a trade at the end of the day. First requirement, look for a combination or confluence of indicators lining up on at least one time frame, but ideally on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and you'll dramatically increase the chance of having a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. So how do you do that? Well, the way that I look at it is I look at indicators as groups of buyers, and if I have different and multiple groups of buyers lining up, indicators lining up, then I have multiple groups of buyers, right? And the more buyers, the better. So I'm going to look for that. Number 2, make sure I have a good risk to reward. Always want to be able to make at least 2 times what I'm risking to the downside based upon valid support below me and realistic resistance above me. And then number 3, always want to keep in mind and be cognizant of what kind of positions you have. I don't want too many correlated positions. I don't want too many tech stocks. I don't want too many healthcare stocks or auto stocks. I want a good diversification a variety of different type of industries to get the diversification. And then also, as you know, I like to go outside of equities, and I also like to look at bonds and oil and gold and silver and currencies as well, just for even more diversification. So going to keep those three things in mind. If I find something at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and enter the trade after the market closes. If anybody has any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. If you need any clarification on anything I discussed, happy to answer that and clarify. If there's any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at after the market closes, I'm happy to do that, give you my humble opinion. If there's any stock symbols that you'd like to get my opinion on before the market closes, please put it in the chat. Make sure you put a star by it or emoji, something like that, so I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my very best to get to it before the close of the market. And then after the market closes, also, if you have any new additions or subtractions of your positions that I have up here on the board, please let me know, but please wait till after so that the market's closed and I'm not up against the clock. And then I'll have plenty of time to make sure I get them correct, because I want to make sure that I get them correct. But I seem to, and when I do them in the middle of the day, I'm have my mind on other stuff and I seem to mess them up. So if you could wait till the end, that would be fantastic. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, get that out of the way. I know it's everybody's favorite part. So enjoy, and I will see you in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Excuse me. Karen is here. Hey, Karen, Wiener Dog Trading. How you doing? Good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Good afternoon, Karen. Nice to have you here, ma'am. Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you showing up. Always great to have you here, and the poems and all that. Miko says, good afternoon. Hey, Miko. Good to see you. Gary M. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Hello, Gary. Good to see you. And Kamal. Let's take a look at Kamal. You know, I was chatting with Kamal earlier. This is Apple on this 5-minute bar. So we look at this. You're going up, 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 and then boom, we took out like 5 bars in 1 bar. But of course, it immediately got butt up. Immediately, I was Skyping Kamal. I said, look at this bar. This is insane. I should have known better to go ahead and short right here, because this amount of volume and this amount of sell-off means something. People initially bought the dip. I didn't short this, but looking at this, I'm like, why didn't I short this? Huge crackdown, reverse back up, V1 to the downside. That would have been a pretty sweet trade, but I didn't take it. Oh, well, that's okay. REGN. Yeah, so we make, we close outside of the value zone. We come in, we have 1 day sidewards. This is a really nice V1. It washed out this bar washed out day 1 very nicely. Currently right now, it looks like it's triggering a V1. This still scares me because it's in the recent past. That's why I like to have as much distance as I can when I have a V1, V2 from any one big bar down. And technically, this only went sideways for 1 day. So me personally, I wouldn't buy this, although, you know, it does add some brownie points that it did wash out this previous low over here. So, you know, you have a washout of the previous low and a V1, which makes it look better to me for sure. Just make, you know, if you do take it, make sure that at least the V1 has triggered at least, and it's over 50. IBB, 520 crossover, is it so? 130.94, 131. So not quite there. I really don't like taking even crossovers when they come from this big down and then reverse back up, because I feel like most of the move is there. But currently, the crossover is not valid yet. Netflix, a little bit of the same. We do have a 520 crossover. We're above the 50 RSI, which is good. We're in the value zone. This guy over here, this big bar over here does concern me. Let's look at the monthly. Monthly's in an uptrend. Weekly, I'd like it a little deeper down here in the value zone, but it technically did come into the value zone. Yeah, it's not bad. It's one of the ones I have marked on on mine as well. Zach says, does a fib work on the large bar? Yeah, Fibonacci, I think it works better on a large bar. Here we have the big down move. Well, look, we retrace back up to 50%. I thought it was going to go down right from here, but it went a little higher, but I still would have taken this short because of this monster large bar down. Now, if it went all the way back up, that's a different story, but it didn't quite go above. It tried and then failed. But, of course, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback, right? But with this big of a down bar on this kind of volume, I don't know why I didn't short that with that beautiful V1 to the downside. Look at this. Bump. Hey, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all the help you've given me over the years, coaching and mentoring friendship. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you being here in the chat. It's always a big thrill for me, and I'm sure it is for everyone else. Steve says, I hope everyone is staying safe in this volatile market. I'm still watching the 1030 EMA cross in VIX and holding gold UGL. Yep. So for those of you that don't know, Steve has an approach where he's going to buy weekly puts if the 1030 EMA crosses on the VIX, showing that there's a expansion in volatility. And his filter to tell him that is the 530 crossover on the VIX. Let's take a look. I should really move this up. I use this so often. Where is it? Right here. Oh, it's there. Looks like the 10 is crossing the 30, at least for now, on the VIX, which is Steve's signal to go ahead and buy weekly puts, at the money puts on the S&P. Frank has a poem, block 1. Okay. From the moment you turn on the screen, what the day brings remains to be seen. You, the trader, against the machine as we prepare for our routine. Win, lose, buy, and in between, just as long as we get out clean. Oh, excellent. Let me try that one more time, Frank. From the moment you turn on the screen, what the day brings remains to be seen. You, the trader, against the machine as we prepare for our routine. Win, lose, buy, and in between, just as long as we get out clean. Fantastic, Frank. Thank you, sir. Always appreciate that effort, the time you put into those. It's amazing. I never take it for granted, and I'm impressed every single day. I really am. Now I can't paste this in there. All right, let me get the second one here. People like those poems on Twitter. I post them every day, and I see every day that people like them. And they should, because they're great. Greg, Kamal says, Greg, did SPCE reject the 50 from your what if tool? Well, let's take a look. Yeah, this is one of the nice things about Trade Navigator that I have here, is that I have a tool that I can measure, right? If you look at Virgin Galactic here, it's at a 45.01, and you kind of have to estimate, did it reject the 50? But I have this little tool here, and so I can go up to the high and see what the RSI was when it was at the high. It was at 49.05, Kamal. So it did not reject the 50 technically. Should read win, lose, and in between. Roger that. Should read, or edit, should read win. Okay, I'll have to figure that out later. Okay. Hope that helps, Kamal. All right, let's get to it. All right, so Gary's in this trade as well. I did take gold back on the 10th of June. We had a 520 crossover. I bought half of my shares here. I only bought half because it already had such a big move, and I felt like buying the full position here was a little aggressive. So I bought half here at the close. I bought the other half here the next day at halfway, which puts my basis right about here at 162.78. Then it went back up. I did hit a profit target. Yesterday it crashed, but reversed back up, luckily. And then today it's down 24 cents, but it's reversed off of its low. So underwater on this trade so far, not too bad. I do have a day trade on here as well, but I'm going to stay in here. If the price crosses below both the 5 and the 20, I'll get out of half. If the 5 then crosses under the 20, I'll get out of the full amount. If it trends to the upside, I will go ahead and trend and phase out like I do. SPY. Well. I'll tell you what. I don't even know what to say. You know what I'm going to say, right? It's been craziness with the overnight SPY trade. But in case we have some new viewers, let me go over this quickly. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold overnight, I take the overnight risk, and I sell the first thing the next morning. Why would I do such a thing? This is based upon numbers from a back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. They tested these two approaches every day since 1993. First approach, buy at the open, hold through the day, sell at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold overnight, take the overnight risk, sell the next morning, positive 634.2. So a big difference between positive 634.2 and negative 13.9. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. May never work again in the history of the world, but to date, since 1993, it has had a really nice equity curve. You can see the blue line is the equity curve. There's ups and downs, no doubt about it. I've lived through it. It's not easy to do, but over time, all it has done is gone up. Doesn't mean it's going to in the future, but if I'm going to allocate money towards something, it's going to be towards something that has a good track record, right? So that being said, this has been the craziest overnight SPY week in history. Boy, I hear the thunder up here. Okay, so I bought it yesterday at the close. 307.05 is where I got filled. Sold right at the top today, 315.56. So like 8 points overnight gap. Sounds easy, right? Now I have hail coming down. Hey, if my internet goes out, I apologize, everybody. I really do, but it's not always that way. Look back here on the 10th, I bought here, sold here for a big overnight loss. Then the next day, right back with the huge gain. Yesterday, right back with a huge loss. Today, up with a huge gain. So anyway, it's pretty crazy. Really glad that I hit that, because obviously it hit that right at the top. Man, that hail is coming down. Holy smokes. Is Katie inside? All right, good. Anyway, I will be buying this again today at the close. Oh my gosh. All right, if something goes out, I apologize, everybody. Whoa. can you even hear me? Frank says the SPY trade is kind of like trading on a trampoline. I agree. Let's see if this hail will mellow out here a little bit. It sounds like it's trying to. All right, I hope you can hear me. UUP, which is the dollar. I did buy the dollar on the 11th of June. Under 30, over 30, V2. Bought it here at 26.18. Next day it moved up nicely for us. I hit 2 profit targets. Yesterday it was down. Okay, good. It stopped. And today hit another 2 profit targets. One right near the highs. So anyway, so far so good. It's up today, 0.34%. Happy with that, but I'm really happy that I hit that top profit target. So far, nothing I have to do here. This one's on autopilot still. Evan says, wow. Kamal says, it's like rocks falling on your house, Greg. I know. I felt it. I started to get a cold sweat. Those skylights were going to break. That sounds like dangerous hail. Oh, my. I know. First thing I thought about it. I hope Katie's inside. Hear you good. You can speak normally. Okay, good. Bob says, how is Katie taking the noise? You know, Katie is deaf. So she is over there sleeping like the angel that she is. She doesn't even notice it. Poor thing. Frank says, if it's burning hail, I'm running for my Bible. All right. Okay, next, Walmart. Oh, I'm going to have to switch this one around because on my chart, I had the unadjusted. So let me make sure. Okay, so yesterday I did buy Walmart. It went under 30, over 30, also rejected the 250-day twice. I bought it here at 117.96. Who else do we have in this? We have Karen, Gary, and Andrea in this trade. Did hit 1 profit target today up here at 119.83. I'm going to be watching this today and see if it closes below the 200. If it closes below the 200, which is 119.04, I'm going to go ahead and just take this off. I don't like the fact that it went that high up and then would lose the 200 again. So anyway, so far so good. Profitable trade. Hit that profit target much higher, but I'm going to be watching that 200-day, see how it reacts around that. All right, let me switch my charts back. Okay, couple trades here on TLT. And let me show you first, big picture. I took 2 trades. I looked at the 39-minute bar, or 39-minute chart, to see if I had some kind of bigger time frame support underneath me. And you can see I had that 100 right underneath me. That's what led me to go and look for a trade intraday. I was like, okay, it's holding on to that 100. So on the weekly time frame, it's giving me some support. So so that's big picture, right? I like to look big picture first and then look for a trade on the actual chart. So anyway, first trade I bought here at 159.96. We had this false breakout to the downside. We also had a V1. Bought it here 159.96. Had a nice big thrust up bar. Next bar I had to get out because it lost a 50 RSI. So I got at 159.96. I got in out at 160.18, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, when you position size for smaller term time frames, you use a lot more shares. So that was a nice trade. That was number 1. Then number 2, see how we were below the 1 ATR channel? See how we rallied into the value zone? When we rally into the value zone, you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a couple a couple days pullback and then a higher low V1. Here's the higher low V1. Bar 1, bar 2, washed out bar 1, closed above bar 1's close. It's higher than these lows. Got in here at Oh, right about the same price, actually. I didn't put both on here because they were almost exactly the same. It moved up nicely, 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 nicely. I had to get out here at 160.27. We moved more than one ATR and I closed below the previous day's low. So again, it was a higher low right here at about 159.96 when it triggered the higher low V1, up, 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 and moved more than one ATR. So now I trail and I got out here at 160.27. So not too bad, right? All right, so I'll get rid of those. And then I did have one more day trade on gold. I already had gold as a normal position, but you can see here on the 39-minute bar, we were below the 1 ATR channel. We were above the 200-day. We came up above, and we came back down. Then we triggered the V1. See, here's bar 1, bar 2. We triggered the V1, and in addition, we closed above the 200 moving average. So it gave me a higher low V1, closed back above the 200-day. If I was wrong, very likely I could be wrong very small with just a close below the 200. I got in here at 161.97, immediately took off, went my way, moved sideways, moved sideways, moved sideways. It had moved more than one ATR for my entry. And then I had to get out here when we closed below the previous day's low. So I got in here at 161.97 and got out at 162.30. So made about 33 cents on that one. So, all right, well, that's my trades. Now let's get to the important stuff, which are your trades, and let's see how everybody's doing. Take a look over here. All right. Okay, so Pinsky and Kamal is in this too, right? Yeah, and Kamal is also in Virgin Galactic. Bought this yesterday. Both of them bought this yesterday. We had a double bottom with a bullish divergence, meaning the MACD bars here are much deeper than they are here, showing that we have a reduction in downward momentum. It was technically a V1, false breakout to the downside over here, and a bullish engulfing bar. Bought it at 15.31, up nicely earlier, but right now about break even. Did not reject the 50 RSI. DKNG, Frank did buy DKNG, which is DraftKings back here at 37.64. Been kind of a crazy ride. It was up right away, then down a little bit. Yesterday was a huge day up. Today it's given back a little bit, but Frank is still nicely up on the trade. And Zach, if you can tell, we had the big bar up, Zach, right? Look where it came to today. Held very close to halfway of that bar. So that's your fib. That's your 50% fib that it bounced off of. So, okay, what else we have? We have Frank again with Snapchat. Bought this back here on the 29th of May at 1875. Just moved up beautifully. A little pullback, then another leg up, and then another pullback. And today it is up off of its highs, but really nice trade there. CRM, we have David. David had a really nice, I love these setups. We have sideways motion. We have a breakout to the downside of the previous range and also a V1. So we take out the low of this bar, takes out this low, closes above for a V1, also rejects this previous range, bought here at 173 and up, 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 and then down, and then sideways, and then up, and then up. So it looks like David's doing well on that. Frank has Alibaba. Remember, a bunch of us took this trade. This was a beautiful pullback to value trade, sideways motion, and then the trigger. The trigger was a 520 crossover, bullish engulfing bar. Bought it here at 206.69. Immediately went up. I believe I got out right here after about 4 days, and I think few of us did. Then it went sideways, moved up again, then down, back into the value zone, but up nicely today, up 5.77, up 2.65%, 61 RSI. HLG, Pinsky and Company, bought this here at 40.51 with this V2. Initially went right up, sideways, tried to go down, right back up, and basically moving sideways. So right about even looks like on this trade, maybe down about 20 cents or so. Oh, I think I accidentally, we took this trade, a bunch of us took this trade right here on bonds. We went under 30, over 30, and rejected the 6 ATR channel. Was a great trade. It moved up, moved up, moved up, moved up. I got out here with the close below the previous low, but somebody stayed in this. I can't remember who it was. Sorry, maybe you can update me. Dexcom, Glenn. Glenn had a nice trade on Dexcom. He bought it yesterday at 375.16. Moved up nicely, up a little bit today, but down. I'm sorry, it was up earlier today and then down a little bit. No damage here to the chart. Had the crossover, which is good. I'm not sure how Dexcom backtests with a crossover, but a crossover is always better than not a crossover, I would say. Down a little bit today, but in the context of the chart, no chart damage. It's holding the 50%. Okay, Kamal. Kamal bought GDX, which is the gold miners ETF, with this V1 and close back above the 50-day moving average. Up slightly earlier, now down. The key here really is to watch that 50% of the big bar up, Zach, right? And Kamal knows this, but here we have the big bar. See how it literally came to the 50%? And that's where buyers stepped in. So Kamal's going to have to watch that. MDB, Kamal did buy MDB, V1, false breakout to the downside. Looks like bullish engulfing bar. Bought it here at 201.70. Right now we're at 203.37. So it is up $1.63. So that's nice. And then lastly, Kamal again had a nice pullback to value here on gold. Bought it at 26.97. Up 2.45%. So anyway, looks like the majority of these are up today, which is fantastic. Oh, Frank is in Walmart. Do I not have you in Walmart? Sorry, Frank. I knew that you were in Walmart. I think sometimes I change, I hit the sometimes I hit the delete button to move a line, and if I hit it twice, then it deletes the last thing that I typed in. So that's probably why. Okay. Kamal says, wow, that Roku went all the way to 119. Oh my. Wow. Wow, that's a monster. 520 crossover. Yeah, that's true. It does. It does. Some of you had a really good trade the last time that 520 crossover happened. Steve and a bunch of, remember that? Steve says, if the VIX signal holds, I will buy a 311 or 312 SPY put expiring June 19th. Okay, so if the 1030 EMA crossover on the VIX holds, he's going to buy an at the money put expiring June 19th. I will gamma and delta scalp, then roll it back to a 50% delta if I get a favorable gap in my favor and the delta gamma expands. Looks like I will also buy that Roku crossover as well. All right, let me put that over here so we don't forget it. Glenn, hey buddy, good to see you. Hi Greg, VIX is holding SMA. Pause for thought. Well, yeah, I mean, anytime that we have a hold of the 50, I consider that, is it going back up? And, obviously the move up in VIX, it's been volatile, but I don't know if it's over. I mean, you've seen what has happened on the overnight SPY trade the last little bit. I mean, we could certainly go back up here, and holding the 50 RSI, is important. That is noteworthy. And if you look here at the VXX, here we have the low, here we have the high. Do you see how we came back? Not only did we test the 50 RSI, but we also, looks like we tested the 50, it was a 50% fib retracement between here and here, right about here. Frank says, I sold DKNG on the open. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. Steve, your 520 might just work out better than the shakeout. I've been dealing with Roku over the last month. Yeah, that's right. Kamal is our Roku specialist. Okay, so listen, before we go down through my watch list, before I look for my 3 requirements for any trade at the end of the day, which are, again, a combination or confluence of indicators lining up on at least one, but ideally on multiple time frames. Number 2, need to have a good risk to reward ratio based upon valid support below me, realistic resistance above me. And number 3, always being cognizant of your correlation between your positions and your maximum positions to your maximum account heat. But before we do that, I do like to talk about trader psychology, good trading words of wisdom, trading philosophy each day here at about the midpoint. 80% of trading is psychological. I firmly believe that. I've been trading for 24 years, and every day I realize that more and more. So, it's important to learn how to trade, support, resistance levels, indicators. That yes, you do have to learn that. But after that, for you to become a long-term profitable trader is going to depend upon your psychology. So that's why I like to look at Facebook. I like to look at Twitter. There's some really good channels out there that post good information about them each day. And when I read something and I like it, I was like, and it's helpful for me. I like to snip it and then talk about here. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you. But this is from Trading Composure at Trading Composure on Twitter. Unbelievably great channel. This guy really knows his trading psychology. He gets really deep on it. He thoroughly understands the importance of it. So whenever Trading Composure posts something, I definitely like to read it and internalize it. And I would suggest you do as well. Let's see what he has to say. A good trader's ultimate edge is a calm and collected demeanor. Whether the market goes up or down, they know exactly what they'll do. And if at any point they're not sure, they'll stay out and patiently monitor things from the sidelines. There is so much wisdom in these 3 sentences, it's unbelievable. But this first one really is important. Not that these other 2 aren't, but this one really sums it up. A good trader's ultimate edge is a calm and collected demeanor. Did you notice there was nothing in here about indicators or scanners or stock pick newsletters or what CNBC had to say? None of that, right? It really comes down to having a calm and collected demeanor. Like Steve Burns, the coolest cat in the world, right? He is just chill and zen. He makes trading very easy. Doesn't mean he wins every single trade, but not being calm and not being collected, that's where you get into problems. Whether the market goes up or down, they know exactly what they'll do. Look, in any trade, you have to have a trading plan, right? I deal with my students. I'm like, okay, we have a trade setup. We know we're getting out end of day stop. We know where we're getting out maximum stock. We know where our intermediate term profit target is. We know where our ultimate profit target is. We know where our phase out points are going to be. When I say this every time I teach, I'm like, okay, now we know, we have a plan. Doesn't matter what's going to happen. We're going to know what to do, whether it goes up or down. And that's very important. And if at any point they're not sure, they just stay out and patiently monitor things from the sideline. That's a skill, everybody. That's a skill. This is a skill, the first one. The second one's a skill, and this one's a skill. But I think you can sum it all up here in having a calm and collected demeanor. So anyway, I thought this was really helpful. I hope this is helpful to you. But again, Trading Composure at Trading Composure on Twitter. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now, haven't seen this one for a minute, but this is a reminder to me and to everyone else out there today and every day. Let's choose wisely today. From Diana Cooper. Choose wisely today. What does that mean? Well, to me, that means look for a confluence of indicators that has a good risk to reward ratio. Keep in mind correlations of my holdings, right? Make sure I position size correctly, adjust for volatility. That's what it means. It also means don't take a trade just because you want to trade, you want some action, right? So this is for me, Greg. Choose wisely today. And everybody else out there, please choose wisely today. All right? All right. Glenn says LVGO breakout to new all-time high. Tempted to take a small position. All right. Well, if you do, please let us know. It did break out. No doubt about that. I don't see any volume on here. Why don't I see any volume? Oh, there we go. Yeah, pretty strong volume, which is important for breakouts to have strong volume. It is at a 66 RSI. A little rich for my blood in the RSI department, but anyway, if you take that trade, good luck, Glenn. I hope that works out for you. Up 8% today. Wow. Okay. Looks like the hail has stopped. Good. Let me check over here. Wow. Okay. All right, let's get to it. You know what I'm going to say on a lot of these charts. Sorry to be boring, right? But here's Apple. Looks like it's rejected the 70 RSI. That's a bit of that's a little bit of a concern. If I were long and it rejected the 70 RSI, I would at least get out of half of my position and then maybe trail it with the close below the previous day's low. But that's if I was in the position. Pull back to value is what I'm looking for. Adobe, I know, had a big day. Ooh, was higher earlier, but again, still too high. I don't buy up here. Doesn't mean it can't go up, but need to pull back into value. Amazon, what's our friend Amazon doing today? Had that big up bar, had that big kangaroo tail to the downside. It was followed by a couple days, but like Glenn pointed out, it's hard to get Amazon to go down more than 2 bars, whether it's on the daily, weekly, 5-minute, or whatever. Nothing here for me on Amazon. Pull back into value. Boeing up 3% today, 3.3% today, but nothing here for me. Looking for a pullback into value. Alibaba doing well for Frank here. Again, I would needed 5 to cross under the 20 or pull back to value. Berkshire Hathaway down today. Oh boy, that's kind of a bummer. I would like to look when it gets down to the third ATR channel over here. This would be interesting at the third ATR channel. 92% of prices hold at the negative third ATR channel. So if it does get down there, just because it's there doesn't mean I'm going to go ahead and buy it, but it'd get me interested to look for a V1, V2, something like that. Beyond Meat up today. You can see, Zach, we had the big up bar, but we did not hold the 50%. So to me, that's a little concerning, but nothing there. Caterpillar, nice break above the 200-day. I'm not going to buy it there, though. Carnival is up 4%, but well off of its high. See, everybody sold into that open. Everyone used the strength to sell into that open, which is a bit concerning. That's why these kind of bars are negative when they open higher and close lower. That means nobody bought at the open. Everybody sold at the open, like I did on the SPY trade, right? Dow, like same thing. I mean, look, here it looks like we're holding the 200-day moving average. I mean, if you were desperate to get into a trade, this would at least give you a good risk to reward ratio. It looks like holding the 200, and it looks like it's holding the 1 ATR channel. But again, I don't like to close below the open. Walt Disney closed below the open. It did close below the value zone. So now I'm looking for a move into the value zone like it has, and a pullback looking for a higher low V1 or V2. Etsy, I don't really see anything there either. Facebook, up 1% or so today, but closed below the open. Gold I have hanging in there, slightly underwater on the trade, but the 520 cross is still in place. Google up nicely today, but again, we had this big down move. I'm not surprised that we had a bounce, but for me to get comfortable that this is an uptrend again, it would have to take out this previous high or come back down, make a higher low. I would buy it there, but I just feel like it's stretched here. Goldman Sachs closed below the open, holding the 200, which is good, but in the context of the chart, the close below the open is not positive in my opinion. Home Depot had the big crack of the trend line to the downside, bounced up. Think about a ball, dropping the ball. The ball's going to bounce up, but it's not bouncing back up here. I would be surprised if we get back up here. I really, really would, but I don't see anything here. IBB, we talked about that. Looks like the 520 cross has not happened yet. Intel, oh, way off of its highest today. I don't see anything there. Russell 2000 rejected the 200-day above. That is significant. J&J. Look at that, Zach. Right about 50% of that big bar is where it got denied. CarMax had a big retracement. Now back up, but not going to buy it up in these areas. Coca-Cola way off of its high today. I don't see anything there. Lockheed Martin. You know, look, this is holding the 200-day moving average. It wouldn't be a bad risk to reward, actually, but I don't like how it got sold into. It did go a little higher than the open, but I don't like how it got sold. So, you know, if you were to take this trade, you have a great chance to have a big move if it moves up tomorrow, and hopefully a small loss, but I just don't like the context of this coming down. So, but there is a lot of confluence here. 50-day -1, ATR channel 100, 200-day moving average. There are a lot of indicators here, but I think I'm just going to pass. Did lose the 50 RSI also. MasterCard, same. McDonald's rejected the 200, which is significant. Merck, V2, but that's about all it has into a big move down. This seems just like a dead cat bounce to me. Microsoft off of its highs. Netflix, this is a candidate today with the 520 crossover. Nike, gapped up, reversed. Philip Morris, big day today. But like everything else, we had the big down day. Yeah, we get a bounce. And the bounce got sold into. I mean, let's get real about it, right? The bounce got sold into. PayPal. Let's see if this rejected the 70 RSI today. No, not quite yet. It got up to about 68.53. But I've been watching PayPal for a while. I mean, look at this. We've gone up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and MACD has gone down and down and down and down and down and down and down. That's a massive divergence. So I would expect that PayPal, don't know when, don't know how, but I would expect a significant pullback on PayPal here eventually. Qs, nothing there. Silver, up a little bit today, did bounce at the 200-day. See, I would much rather take a bounce off the 200-day when the close is higher than the open than when the close is lower than the open and they both test the 200. SPCE for Kamal and Pincy, that is just slightly positive. Oh, the SPY trade. I'm going to have to do it manually. I forgot. SSO, no. Teladoc up nicely, but nothing there. TLT, don't see anything there. Tesla, no sir. Twitter, nothing there. UAL, below it's open. UNG, ooh, we talked about UNG. I think this did not go under 30 yet. It got very close, but that's all that it has. Well, it does have a double bottom with the bullish divergence, but it was so many bars ago. It was more than 30 bars ago. When you have a double bottom with the bullish divergence, it's better if it's closer to when the bars, see how this is like 30 days ago? It'd be better if you had the deep bars here, rally, lower, and then shallow bars here. So this is a little too far away. I'm going to stay away from that. UNG, or UNH, nothing there. Oil, nice trade. Kamal. Dollar, I have 2 profit targets today with Gary, Karen, Quad, and Andrea. VIX, rallying here. Is up on the day now. That's interesting. Verizon, nothing. Walgreens, nothing. Walmart, I'll check that in a minute. Energy, financials, no. Real estate lost to 200. Utilities down. Healthcare, no. I really don't see anything. Let's take a look over here. Roku. Yeah, it has the 520 cross, but to me, it doesn't make sense from a risk to reward ratio. I mean, because my loss is going to be way down here. 200 day, I would imagine it would contend with. So for me, it doesn't set up a good risk to reward ratio, right? If I was risking this much to make this much, it would make more sense. So I'm going to let Roku go because of that reason. You know, I don't think I'm going to take Netflix either. It's a valid signal. I just don't like it into this previous big bar here. It's already made a big move. I had a pretty decent day here today, and I think I'm just going to let this one go. It is good and valid, and the MACD is getting close to crossing over. I may just have to lose this one, but I like taking the crossover as the best when you have sideways motion. This just had so up and down and up. I think I'm just going to let that one go. So let me go ahead and check my current positions here. Gold is fine. Oh, might go positive on the day. S&P, please remind me to buy that. I forgot to put it in. So nice overnight gapper there. Dollar had a good day on the dollar. Not a big mover, but still good day. Walmart. All right, let me change over to this chart and see if I'm still good on Walmart. Yeah, it's holding the 200, so that's good. All right. Let's see what SPY doing intraday here. All right, so we have 5 minutes. John says, hey, John, good to see you, buddy. Nice having you here. Always nice to see John. LVGO looks a bit like a Darvis box breakout. Yeah. Yep. Or in other words, people say, what are box breakouts? I just look at them as ranges. When it breaks above a previous high, it goes into a new range. Yep. Kamal says, I bought REG in 192. I will repudiate later, Greg. All right. Hey, Kamal has had the hot hand, so yeah, false breakout, V1. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy the SPY here, just so I know that it's out of the way. I forgot to program it in. All right, and then over here. And so I'm going to keep a watch here over Walmart. 119.04, we're at 119.23. So far looks like it's okay then. But you know, I bought the under 30 over 30 rejection of the 250. Now that it's gone up to the 200, I'm just going to move my trailing stop to the 200. Right? If it closes back below, boom, I'll just get out. And I'll see how, if it keeps going up, I'll see how it reacts around the 100, although it did already reject the 100, but I am going to hold it and give it a little bit of breathing room. It is rallying here at the end of the day. Yeah, Kamal, I don't think RGN. I mean, it's fine. It's good. I'm just concerned about this bar. I'll tell you about something tonight about this bar, which is positive when we speak. But I do like the little bar. I like the rejection. I like the V1. I like that it's closing over 50. Weekly is, you know, kind of neutral. Okie dokie. Boy, Roku's just moving on up, isn't it? Holy smokes. I like the weekly here. Man, I hope you guys got in that about 3 minutes ago. 2% ago. All right, so my Walmart's fine. Let's take a look at Apple in the last minute. You know, look at the volume here. Look at this volume start to move in this last minute. Oh, Apple's cranking. But see all this volume in the last minute? See how it far surpasses anything over here? Holy smokes. It's cranking. All right, that's it. Man, I had a pretty good early buy on that SPY. Wow, look at the last minute. You know, I talk about at the end of the day, the large financial institutions coming in, and they made their bet on Apple, didn't they? Look at this volume. It just dwarfs everything here in this last minute. Just dwarfs. Wow, that's amazing. All right. Well, listen, let's do this. So first of all, I'm just going to do my quick little daily plug. Hope that's okay with you. And then after that, we're going to take a look at where I got in SPY. And then if you have any new entries and exits for me up on the board, we'll update those. But before your favorite part of the day, Greg's plug, just want to let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching, teaching, and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have been trading for 24 years. I've studied one-on-one with some great traders and coaches like our friend Steve Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. I've studied one-on-one with each one of these gentlemen. I've taken what they've taught me and I've melted everything they've taught me into my own approach. And that is the approach that I use. I think it's a really good approach, regardless of what the market's doing. I do have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. And the reason they're so long is because when I'm done with a student, I really want to know that they know how to trade the approach that I teach them. And that's why long form teaching, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. Whether you're learning to trade, whether you're learning to play the guitar, or whatever else, having your teacher there right with you live, answering questions, at least for me, is the best way to learn. And I think it's probably the best for a lot of people as well. So, I teach everything, the 5 different approaches that I use in trading. I teach one in one session, the next in the next session, but we do lots of chart study. I ask you a lot of questions after I teach you. I have you teach it back to me so that I know you really know it. I throw you a lot of curveballs and a lot of trick questions, so I really know that you know it. But doing repetition, going through many, many different charts, many different situations, and when you're done, you'll know, where do I get in? What's the better trade between these two? Where's my emergency stop? Where's my end of the day stop? Where's my ultimate profit target? Where's my intermediate term profit target? How do I position size? How do I figure it out? Right? So when you're done, my goal is that you really know how to trade and that you will have a plan on trading. Everybody says have a plan to trade. And you do, but I don't think people really sometimes know how to put a plan together. So that's what I will teach you in this lesson. So I've had really good success with my clients. I really have, and I think you would too. So if you're interested in taking the course with me, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. The email is in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do contact me, what I'll ask you to do is, let's set up a Skype call so that we can speak face to face. It's a good time for you to ask me any questions about me or about the course that I teach. It's a good time for me to ask you questions about you and your trading challenges and your goals. And then if we decide it's a good fit, then we'll go ahead and we'll schedule the lessons. But I do, like every day, want to point out that it's not a sales call, the Skype call. I promise you, I hate when people do that. It's just a call to get to know. I won't even ask you if you want to take the course. So when we're done, I'll just say, hey, look, nice talking to you. If you're interested in taking the course in the future, just send me an email. So there's no pressure whatsoever, right? It is $1,000, but I think it is worth every single penny. I really, really do. And I think you'll be glad you took it. And then also, if you like today's podcast, if you like this channel, I would really appreciate it if you could just take a half a second, hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here. It helps to promote the channel. And there are a lot of people out there that need help with trading and just need to learn some good trading principles, like keeping your losses short, cutting your losses short, letting your winners run, all the stuff we talk about here. So I really do feel like, the more the channel grows, the more it will help people with their trading. So you can help me out with that by hitting the thumbs up button. Okay, that's enough of the plugs and requests. So let's see, where did I buy SPY? That's all I bought, right? Yeah. I bought SPY today at 311.72. These have been crazy overnight trades. 311.72. 311.72, and right now it's 312.95. What? Did I already make $1? What did this do in the last few minutes? Oh yeah, look. I bought it like with 4 minutes to go. That was sweet. Nice. And we'll see if it's a 10-point up gap or a 10-point down gapper tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be one of those. Oh, now it's sunny. How is that? Wow. Okay. All right, so Kamal bought REGN. So let's get that up on the board. REGN for Kamal. $190. $192? That's not the price, right? REGN at 5. Oh, yes. Sorry. 591. Okay. Good luck with that one, Kamal. Hope that works out, buddy. REGN is at 591 plus. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I put 591 because I saw that. Kamal, I was getting ready to sell SPCE and GDX, but it ramped in the last minute. Bought REGN at 192. But the price is 592, Kamal. $592. Okay. That'd be great if you got it at 192. All right, so space, I have Kamal Pinsky. I have Kamal in there on REGN. Snap, still have Frank there. CRM, still have David there. Baba, have Frank there. HLG, Pinsky. TLT, anybody in TLT? I know there was somebody in here. I can't remember. Was it Gary that was still in TLT? If you could let me know. Dexcom down a little bit today, but no biggie. That was a huge bar. You can expect a little backfill. GDX did hold the 50%. Zach, look at that. Held that 50% perfecto. MDB, Kamal is up on that. And USO, nice trade for Kamal. Okay, what about Roku? Anybody buy Roku? And what did the VIX do? Did the VIX have the crossover? It did. It did. So Steve, if you're still out there listening, please let us know how things go with the selling of puts or with the buying of puts. I mean, we'll know. If the market's down tomorrow, we'll know. We'll know, right? You know, I read an article that Bill Simons, the man who solved the markets, down 20% this year. I just saw that. I read that a while ago, but then I saw it again today. So pretty interesting. Okay. Did anybody else get into Roku? Let's see what's happening after hours here. Gold's unchanged. Russell's down. Q's up slightly. SPY down slightly. Walmart down. Okay, well, now I know somebody had Roku. All right. Okay, well, listen, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to elaborate or clarify anything I discussed today. Um, be interesting to go outside and see what's left of things after that hailstorm. But now I can see it's sunny, which is good because I wouldn't be able to hike if I had that hailstorm going. Kamal says, Greg, Steve would have bought Roku. Yeah, I assume that he did. I don't have a price, but I'll just go off with a closing price then. You didn't buy it, Kamal? All right, we have Steve Burns back up here. Okay. Let me check over here real quick. Oh, so Steve actually did buy some puts. 120.30 is where Steve got in Roku. Boom. All right. Well, good day today. All in all, really, really good day with the day trades and the swing trades, and grateful for that. Hey Miguel, hey, how you doing? Join late. Where is the hailstorm? The hailstorm was in the first half of the show. I'm in Utah, near Salt Lake City. That was a hailstorm. Man, was that a hailstorm. I mean, somebody said it was like rocks being thrown at my house. It's exactly. Good to see you, Hemi Gal. Kamal says, no Roku at this price. I played with it at 3 times last month, got shaken out. Hemi says, I'm in Alberta where parts in South cities got hammered bad. Thankfully, we were okay here. Oh, they got hail also. Interesting. Well, thanks for saying hello from Canada, Hemi Gal. Okay. Well, I think I have everybody's positions up to date here. Wow, what a day. But remember, the futures were up 1,000. Now we're up 500. I mean, it looks impressive, but still, 500 points got sold into. So keep that in mind, right? Okay. Well, listen, last chance. Otherwise, I'm going to put on my boots and probably a jacket and a couple beanies in my backpack. See if it's safe for Katie. And then head on out. Wiener, thanks, Greg. Thank you, Karen. Frank says, you might have just invented the Hail Mary trade. Ha ha, good one. Touche. Touche. Johnson Wong, hey, how you doing? How is SQ? That's a good question. Let's take a look. Wow, big day on SQ today. Broke out. It's a 6817 RSI. Looks like it did reject the 70 RSI already today, although let me check. No, not quite. Not quite. Had some volume here, but did break out nicely for sure. But for me, a little too high to buy up here near that third ATR channel, above the second ATR channel. I would imagine it would have run into some resistance there, but we never know. Interestingly enough, we made a new high on negative MACD. See how we have a negative MACD cross under? That's interesting. Let's look at the weekly here, Johnson. Well, look at this move. Unbelievable. Look at this. I haven't seen Square for a bit. This is unreal. It's tripled in price. Unbelievable. Wow. Thanks for coming, Johnson Wong. Thank you, Greg. Be safe hiking. Wear a construction helmet. I agree. Quad, thank you, my friend. You have a good evening. Zach says, thank you very much, Greg. You're welcome. Thank you, Zach. Johnson, thank you. Two-tone, what is your thoughts on LDEM? LDEM. Well, this is not something I would be interested in. This is very gappy chart. I would imagine there's really not a lot of volume here. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can see there's not a lot of volume on this chart. So only 2,600 shares traded. So not very liquid, but if it was a liquid stock, would I be interested? No, I would be interested if it came back into the value zone. The value zone is between this green line and this green line. Anything up here, I don't buy. I consider this overvalue. I want to buy it at value between the two green lines or below value. But it's neither in the value zone, and these particular type of bars here indicate that there's not a lot of volume, which is concerning. Hope that helps, Two-Tone. All right, everybody, I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Please go out, do something nice for somebody, just a smile or a wave, or just be pleasant. We need a whole lot more of that in our world today. And like I say, it is scientifically proven by a study that I did that being nice and cordial to people will help your trading. You can believe that or not, but I think it's true. Two-Tone says, that is what I was thinking. Thank you so much. You bet. You bet. Okay. Have a good rest of your day. Be good. Be safe. And glad we had a good day today, right? Always be grateful for that. So Katie says goodbye to everybody. And thank you for being concerned about her with the hail. All right. Hopefully see everybody tomorrow, okay? Oh, Two-Tone says, when do you go live? At 1 o'clock Mountain Time. So that is 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So basically, Two-Tone, the last hour of the U.S. stock market, wherever you live. So I hope that helps. So the last hour. So I trade and teach during that last hour of the market, and then I do questions here for about 30 minutes after. Okay. That's a wrap. Have a good rest of your day, and thanks for coming, everybody. I really appreciate seeing you. And hit the thumbs up button if you could. All right. Talk to you later. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.